Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, another delay in a Matagorda murder trial, the cause for the delay that's just ahead. And families of victims speak out demanding answers about the Epstein files. Plus, a tariff deadline ends tonight as Trump announces more tariffs are set to hit at midnight.
And y'all probably already know what I'm going to say. We've got plenty more summer heat on the way, but rain chances are on the forecast this weekend. We'll see what that's about on the weather coming up.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Friday Eve or Thursday or Jueves, depending on what you prefer.
Friday. Get excited.
It's Friday, but it's still going to be hot.
Yeah, all the way into next week. It is summertime, so I hope y'all are getting used to the heat. We kind of stress the heat so much to y'all because I've said this a few times. Did y'all know that the heat is actually the #1 weather-related fatality every single year across every kind of weather type? So I hope y'all understand now why I tell y'all about that so much. But this morning, you're going to be very pleased to hear we got a very nice, pretty sunrise. There are no fog out there right now. 75 is our current air temperature. Real close to the dew point, 94, bringing us humidity of 96%. But no fog right now, and actually that's consistent all across the Crossroads. We were clear as glass this morning, but I wouldn't be surprised if over the next maybe half hour to an hour or so we see a little bit of fog trying to form because the temperatures are still very slowly falling to that dew point. Well, we might see the air condense up just a little bit, but so stay safe if you see any of that fog. But more importantly, stay safe because it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be another hot day. Looking at yesterday's temperatures, we officially hit 100 degrees within Victoria city limits. There were dozens of gauges that reported that, and anywhere you see 99, y'all hit 100 to 101 as well. Today, y'all will be pleased to hear it's not going to be 100, I don't think, in Victoria, thanks to some partly cloudy skies, but heat of the seas will be a bit hot. So we'll look at all of those details coming up next.
Ukraine's capital was rattled by more explosions as Russia launched new attacks overnight. Video shows smoke and flames as residential buildings in Kyiv took a hit. Russia is continuing its strikes despite a new deadline from U.S. President Donald Trump. On Monday, President Trump gave the Kremlin up to 12 days to agree to a ceasefire or face new sanctions and possibly secondary tariffs. Rescuers are searching for survivors trapped under rubble. At least 8 people were killed and 82 injured in the overnight strikes. A high-profile murder case in Matagorda County is seeing yet another delay. A pretrial hearing was set for Wednesday for Fernando Acosta Jr. virtually and with a visiting judge. Acosta's attorneys prefer to go before Judge Fortenberry and prefer to not meet virtually. As for Wednesday's hearing not happening, the district attorney provided an explanation. According to a letter from the defense team, there was a mix-up over which days a visiting judge would be presiding in the 130th District Court, pushing back the hearing now to August 13th. Congressman Michael Cloud has secured $5.5 million in federal funding to help build a new terminal at the Victoria Regional Airport. The funds are part of the Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Act 2026. The current terminal is over 30 years old and not designed to accommodate larger aircraft, stricter security standards, and increased passenger volume. The funding will build a modern 30,000 square foot terminal that can handle today's passenger and TSA needs. The bill still needs full House and Senate approval. An earthquake off the Russian coast triggered tsunami warnings across the Pacific Tuesday night. The chaos as the 8.8 magnitude trembler first struck off Russia's remote Far East was captured on camera. Several buildings were damaged by the quake and a tsunami followed. The earthquake was the strongest globally since 2011 and is among the top 10 strongest detected worldwide. That same earthquake brought a tsunami warning to Hawaii, and that would be later downgraded to an advisory Wednesday morning. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said in a bulletin that data showed a major tsunami was not expected to strike the state of Hawaii. However, the agency warned that strong currents may still occur along all coast. Water had begun gradually receding in some parts of Hawaii. Evacuation orders for coastal inundation zones were also canceled. Now to a new development in the controversy surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein case. Here's ABC's Andrea Fuigi.
wants to know what President Trump knows about convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. In a new statement, the siblings of Giuffre saying, "It makes us ask if he was aware of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal actions. We and the public are asking for answers. Survivors deserve this." In 2019, when Epstein was charged with trafficking, Trump said they had a falling out and had not spoken in 15 years. The Giuffre family now speaking out after Trump was asked by reporters this week if Giuffre was one of the employees he claimed Epstein stole from his Mar-a-Lago resort.
I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people. Yeah. He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us, as you know. None whatsoever.
Giuffre's family saying it was Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, who targeted and preyed upon our then 16-year-old sister, Virginia, from Mar-a-Lago.
I was recruited at a very young age from Mar-a-Lago and entrapped in a world that I didn't understand, and I've been fighting that very world to this day.
Giuffre, who died by suicide in April, accused Maxwell of recruiting her while she was working as a locker room attendant in 2000, claiming she was groomed to be a teen sex slave for Epstein. Maxwell denied participating in sexual activities with Giuffre and Epstein and denied instructing Giuffre to have sex with others. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche met with Maxwell last week, part of the Justice Department's effort to uncover information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims. Maxwell, currently serving 20 years in prison and appealing her conviction to the Supreme Court, offered to testify before Congress for immunity. Giuffre's family hopes that doesn't happen, saying Ghislaine Maxwell is a monster who deserves to rot in prison for the rest of her life. Trump has not ruled out pardoning Maxwell, but has said no one's approached him about it. The Justice Department says only 2 law enforcement officers testified during the grand juries in New York that investigated Epstein and Maxwell. Supporters of releasing all the Epstein files say that proves more than just the grand jury transcripts need to be released to show transparency. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
President Donald Trump is set to rewrite the rules of global trade just after the clock strikes midnight tonight, when his pause on a list of tariffs is scheduled to end. The Trump administration is doling out trade news before the deadline. Trump is announcing a 15% duty on South Korean imports and 50% for Brazilian goods if they don't end the trial of a former president accused of attempting a coup. He's also doubling down on a 25% tariff on imports from India. And here are some of the top headlines in the Quora Record. Longtime DeWitt County Judge Daryl Fowler officially announced his decision not to seek a 6th term of office. And the Yorktown varsity and junior high school cheerleading squad shine at UCA's cheer camp. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. And we're learning more details about the violation in Victoria ISD's cosmetology program. According to information shared by the district Wednesday, the violation was found during an inspection in November 2023, with corrections made immediately. The district says it was notified of the monetary penalty in May of this year, and the $3,000 penalty was paid in June. Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation reported it on July 2nd. Remember to follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It's almost 6:39 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. We've been tracking a local county-funded medical center's push for more funding.
New details this morning about what caused the fatal mid-air collision between the American Airlines plane and a Black Hawk helicopter over the Potomac River. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the details and what the pilots of the plane did in the final moments.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say it's going to be another hot day all across Texas. So coming up next, I'll tell you just how hot I think it'll be near you. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday, Friday Eve. Looking at your visibility map again, still good news. It's still pretty clear out there right about now, but like I've been saying, I think maybe over the next 20, 30 minutes or so, we might start seeing those numbers start changing on us. And you can actually see that right here on the future visibility. Boom, right there, sometime around 7, maybe 7:30 in the morning. Over the next hour or so, we might see a little bit of light fog form before that burns off between 8 to 9 a.m. like it usually does. And then I want to let y'all know before we go to the future tracker, I think that this morning is going to be the last morning that we have fall, because you can see right here, if anything tomorrow, it's going to be pretty light. All that thanks to high pressure, which will be slowly moving away from us. And that is going to actually bring back the sunshine. That also thanks to a cool front, which we'll look at later. Don't get excited, it's nothing crazy. Bless you, Carolyn. Actually, coming our way today, it is going to be a hot one. What I really need y'all to worry about is the heat. Not so much the fog that's not happening right now, but more so the heat, because future tracker shows it looks mostly cloudy on here, but all of this is going to be that upper level, thin, wispy, milky cirrus clouds, and also some kind of spotty, blotchy altocumulus as well. So we're going to be partly cloudy today with a very low 10% chance to see some showers of sprinkles, especially on the coast. Maybe one or two in the inland counties sometime around noon in the early afternoon. Otherwise, everybody else is going to be a bit hot. Looking for a high of 98 today in Victoria, which is the same as Cuero and Port Lavaca, 2 degrees above our average this time of year, and we're only going to stay that hot above average for the next several days, and we're heading into August, so we'll look at the tropics coming up next.
This morning, there are new details about the deadly midair crash between a Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger jet. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with details.
Flight 5342 is visible in the upper left corner as it approaches runway 33.
This morning, new video from the end of the runway at Reagan National Airport shows the moment before an American Airlines flight collided with an Army helicopter, killing all 67 people on board. The head of the NTSB now slamming the FAA and the Army for not taking ownership of the incident, saying it never should have happened.
Are you kidding me? 67 people are dead. How do you explain that?
During a hearing on Capitol Hill Wednesday, federal investigators revealed the Black Hawk helicopter likely didn't know how high they were flying or how close they were to the airliner before the deadly collision. The instrument in the helicopter that helps pilots gauge their height was found to be inaccurate by up to 130 feet. Investigators also found the helicopter route at the time of the collision allowed the Black Hawk to fly as close as 75 feet below planes. According to FAA surveillance data, there have been over 15,000 close proximity events between helicopters and commercial aircraft at DCA between October 2021 and December 2024. Some of the reports warn that the flight space was an accident waiting to happen. That route has since been closed.
At no point should there ever be helicopters flying underneath civilian aircraft.
And now the agency revealing the final conversations of the American Airlines pilots. The pilots tried to pull up in the final seconds before the crash, shouting an expletive just before impact. Family members of the 67 people who lost their lives filled the hearing room, including Doug Lane, who lost his wife and son in the crash.
When you see just how avoidable this whole tragedy was, but I know for many of us, filling in the blanks is helpful.
Staffing was also cited as a concern. Investigators say at the time of the crash, the controller was handling both planes and helicopter traffic. A full report on the crash is expected early next year. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
As we've been following Citizens Medical Center's request for the county to issue debt to fund its ICU expansion, we asked the hospital for its financial records from the past 5 years. The number shows Citizens has operated at a loss for the past 3 years. In 2022, the hospital reported $4.7 million in losses. That grew to $8.1 million in 2023, and in 2024, they reported a $3.5 million loss in operating income. And here are some of the top headlines in the Port Lavaca wave. Due to ongoing construction and repairs to Memorial Medical Center's roof, the Calhoun County Commissioners waived ambulance transfer fees to the Calhoun County Airport. And the Calhoun County Library Summer Reading Program reaches new records. You can read these stories at portlavacawave.com. The time is just about 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, we hear from Victoria College about an upcoming special event.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw that 7-day forecast a few moments ago, and you saw rain chances slowly rising for the weekend time. But more importantly, you saw the heat. It's going to stay with us all the way into next week. It is August after all. It's the dog days of summer, so this should be nothing out of the ordinary for y'all, especially for us native Texans. It's always hot every year, but that's going to be thanks to high pressure sitting right here on our doorstep. We're talking like 50 to 100 miles away. Sinking, expanding air underneath that will keep our highs in the upper 90s, even some low 100s for the next several days. And you see this little blue thing right here? We haven't talked about that in a long time. That's called a cool front. No, I'm just saying that because it's been so long since we've seen any of that kind of action. Unfortunately, we're actually not going to see any of that action. It's going to dissipate right there in Central Texas before it makes its way down here. It's not going to make its way down here, but it might trickle our temperatures down maybe 1 or 2 degrees. But more importantly, it will bring us rain chances this weekend with lift right along the frontal boundary edge, and high pressure is starting to slowly push away from us, very slowly. But we are heading into August. It means it's hot, but it also means it's hurricane season, and August and September are the peak months. So right now we're looking at another still very low chance of something forming between the 5th and 10th of August. That's next week in that green little bubble. We're kind of watching a tropical wave right here in the deep Atlantic that's going to continue west-northwest up into that region next week. And we're also watching another tropical wave right now over Africa at about the same time frame, but in the deeper Atlantic. And we're going to look at all that more later on Sunrise.
I'm now joined by Ida Sanders with Victoria College here to talk to us about Super Saturday. Yes. Ida, talk to us about Super Saturday and what can we expect?
Okay, so Super Saturday is going to be on August the 9th from 10 to 2. We open up on a Saturday for potential students that cannot make it during the work week. So we open up on that Saturday. We're offering free TSI testing for the first 20 potential students.
Oh, wow.
They can complete their admissions application, their FAFSA, talk to their advisor, pay their tuition, and our bookstore is going to be open too. So they can get their books, any t-shirts, swag, and it's tax-free weekend.
That is so great on so many fronts. And is the TSI testing, is that how you say it, TSI?
Yes, TSI.
Is that something that you need to take in order to enroll?
Yes. So if you plan to take undergraduate courses, so if you plan to get your associate's degree, we do need some sort of testing on file for you. So yes.
Mm-hmm. And the construction is still ongoing at the Student Center, but this is going to be held at Student Services.
Yes, the Student Services building, so you can enter off of Red River, entrance 6, I believe, and then if you want to do the TSI testing, it's entrance 1 off of Ben Jordan.
Okay.
So,
and the first 20 people
get free testing.
Free testing.
Yes, so that's so exciting. So take advantage of that. And then we're also serving free snow cones. Wow. So beat the heat, you know. It's so hot outside.
It is so hot outside. It's worth it just to stop by for the snow cone.
Free snow cones.
And how much is the testing usually? Do you know?
So testing is normally $15.50.
Okay,
so you're getting it free. Yes.
Because you want to save every dollar you can, especially for back to school supplies.
Exactly.
Those grocery bills.
I know, everything's rising up. So, yes.
Well, we're excited. And Vic the Pirate, he'll be out and about?
Yes. And then also, too, if you don't know where the location is, we'll have like the inflatable Captain Vic and like the wavy man and stuff like that. So.
And they can always follow y'all on Facebook. On
and then we
media.
have Instagram too.
You're on Insta.
Yes.
That's so great. Get out and tag Victoria College and take a selfie with Vic. Sounds like a great way to start the school year.
I know, like a fun little party before. Oh, and we are giving away a $500 scholarship. So if you show up that day, you can enter to win a $500 scholarship. So that's awesome.
We need to set our alarms,
right? It's going to be
reminders.
Yes, it's going to be so much fun.
So it's going to start at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, yes. But if you do want to do the TSI testing, you can get there as early as 8:30.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, and you just need your driver's license.
Very nice. Well, Ida, it's always great to see you.
I know. Thanks for having me.
And go Pirates.
Yes, go BC Pirates.
All right. Well, thank y'all. And we'll be right back after this break. U.S. interest rates will continue to hold steady. The Federal Reserve kept the benchmark lending rate between 4.25 to 4.5%. It's the same range the rate has been since December. Officials at the central bank say they want more time and data to determine how the U.S. economy is handling the Trump administration's tariffs. A Senate bill to ban lawmaker stock trading will move forward. Republican Senator Josh Hawley voted with Democrats Wednesday to advance his bill to ban U.S. lawmakers from trading. The advancement comes despite the opposition of other Republicans on the panel. The bill clearing the Senate committee is the latest sign of momentum for enacting a ban on the practice. Arkansas State Police say a man has been arrested in connection with the deaths of a couple hiking at a state park. Police say 28-year-old James McGann was arrested Wednesday in Springdale, Arkansas. He faces 2 counts of capital murder. The bodies of Clinton and Kristen Brink were found Saturday on a walking trail in Devil's Den State Park. Police have not said how they were killed. A big community celebration in Beeville is helping students get ready for school. The Back to School Bash starts at 11 a.m. this Saturday and will go on until 3 at Coastal Bend College. Students can get free backpacks and supplies, enjoy food trucks, vendors, and special guests. It's all at the James R. Dougherty Student Union Building, thanks to Telemundo Victoria, Coastal Bend College, and the City of Beeville. Vehicle thefts are on the rise in Victoria, and police are keeping a close eye on the trend. The city saw 86 thefts in 2023. That number jumped to 92 last year. And so far in 2025, there have already been 32 reported cases. Drivers are encouraged to stay vigilant and take simple steps to deter thieves, like locking doors and securing valuables. The Texas Senate once again tries to give the Attorney General authority to prosecute election crimes. You can read this story by the Texas Tribune on crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a look at our sunrise with Parker. Parker, is that Port Lavaca camera fixed yet?
No, it is not. That 123 heat index that was observed last week, yes, you heard me correct, 123 degrees. I think that's what kind of ruined the Port Lavaca camera. It has not been fixed yet, so we're still looking live in Victoria right now, which is just okay, because we got a nice pretty sunrise. Got lots of pretty colors out there with, like I said, there's those cirrus, maybe some altocumulus clouds out there that I'm expecting for today. Starting out at 75 right now in Victoria. Dew point is 1 degree off, and we're still expecting these temperatures to maybe drop like half a degree more over the next 20-30 minutes or so. But right now you can see there's no fog out there. This is Northern Victoria County, Northern Victoria City rather, and the one before that was Southeastern Victoria. But today, if there is any fog out there, it'll burn off over the next probably hour or so, down to some partly cloudy skies on the coast. 98 for the high today, partly cloudy. Like I said, some cirrus, upper level cirrus clouds and some altocumulus. 98 for the high today in Victoria, the very same as Port Lavaca. Only this time I think y'all gonna be a little bit more sunny, just a tad bit more. And we also have a little bit less of a rain chance. That chance 10% is gonna be mainly for the coast. 98 for the high in Cuero, and I hope y'all are getting used to that heat, because looking at your 7-day all the way into the weekend, all the way into next week, all the way into August, we've got highs sticking in the upper 90s, some even in the low 100s. Heat indices over the next several days will start slowly rising up to about 110 plus as we go into next week. As you can see, the winds, they'll start shifting out of the south-southeast as we get into Monday. So y'all please stay safe and hydrated.
Yes, and I forgot to mention it's a Miracle Treat Day. So be sure to get a Blizzard at your local Dairy Queen, because $1 of that will go toward a local children's hospital.
That's right.
So today it's time to satiate that sweet tooth.
And stay cool that way.
And be sure to join us tonight. Join Shauna, Dawn, Maclovio, and Max for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a great Friday Eve.